Greetings everyone and welcome to the news with the news. I'm Shifarao Lakawan. Thank you for joining us. Now, commissioners of the recently formed Ethiopian National Dialogue Commission express readiness to conduct fruitful, transparent and successful dialogue meant to address deep-rooted challenges of the country. While presenting the Commission's performance report to the 547-seat Parliament, Commission's President Mesfin Araya called upon all stakeholders to play share for the effectiveness of the process. He said the Commission has so far managed to accomplish the exploratory and preparatory phases despite various challenges. Alula Teklemariam brings us up to speed.
The Ethiopian National Dialogue Commission has been established under Proclamation number of 1265/2021 in the hope of resolving the differences and disagreements through broad-based, inclusive and participatory public dialogue. 11 commissioners have thus been directly elected by the people to facilitate the dialogue at the top level. The Commission presented its performance report to the Legislative Assembly, pledging to conduct fruitful, transparent and successful dialogue meant to address the deep-rooted challenges of the country.
ኢትዮጵያ የእምነት ሀገር ነች የእምነት መገኛ ሀገር ነች በሚል
We must work closely with religious fathers, community elders and other stakes. That's in line with our firm belief that everyone deserves to be represented, that the country is home for all groups. We also consider the role of media to be immense in creating public awareness and present our performance. In this regard, we have done quite a good job.
Meanwhile, Mesfin also cited some of the challenges facing the process.
የተለያዩ አረዳዶች አሉ እንዳልኩት ውይይት ምንድነው ሲባል
There certainly are varied interpretations arising in connection with the meaning and functioning of the national dialogue. For instance, some define the term dialogue as counseling or discussion, while others may say it is deliberation or mediation. I hope gradually we will create a common understanding. Public expectation is another problem. Pressure comes from various groups with their own interests or crawling groups around, so we say to them it is far from smooth sailing.
እነኚህ ሁሉ ውዥንብር የሚፈጥሩ ነበሩ
እንዳያችሁት በመጀመሪያ ደረጃ ተቋሙን ራሱን ማቋቋም.
The report clearly showed that the Commission has successfully organized an institutional structure in terms of accomplishing the two earlier steps. They are also in a good track to begin the coming phase.
According to the commissioners, the national dialogue will adhere to a strictly bottom-up approach in a very transparent and inclusive way.
Now, Getty Images photojournalist Jamal Kaunas has exposed the dishonesty of the Guardian after the latter used a photo he took at Sakota, Amhara State to illustrate alleged situation in Tigray. The changes to the caption in recent publications are dishonest, he said in a tweeted message attaching the original caption, Sakota, Ethiopia, March 30. The picture's caption also read, a group of internally displaced women from the Wag Hamra zone sit together in a shelter at the Mabrat Haile IDP camp on March 30, 2022 in Sakota, Ethiopia. The Tigray Democratic Party, TDP, has exposed yet another machination by the TPLF. The TDP disclosed that all the food aid and medicine are entering Tigray. The terrorist TPLF is using them for political gains. The TPLF's claim that aid is not entering the Tigray state is untrue, it added. Speaking to the Ethiopian press agency, TDP public relations head Mulu Brahan Haile said his party has full information that relief supplies are entering Tigray, but the aid is not reaching the target people in the state. According to him, the people of Tigray are now in dire situation because of the terrorists, and his party believes that the suffering of the people of Tigray will continue as long as terrorist TPLF exists. He also said that in light of the group's long history of fascistic and dishonest behavior, the people of Tigray cannot live in peace as long as the group exists. Mulu Brahan also called on the people of Tigray to fight against the group more than ever. Moving on, Ethiopians in the diaspora have been vociferously protesting the punitive HR 6600 and S3199 bills, which call for the imposition of tougher sanctions against Ethiopia, saying that the Joe Biden administration is pushing for more sanctions on Ethiopia. Members of the Ethiopian diaspora have been the beacon of anti-intervention movements across the globe. And one such prominent member of the diaspora community who sat with ETV is Alemayehu Abebe. And let's listen to what he had to say.
ስሜ አለማየሁ አበበ እባላለሁ የመጣሁት ከሎስ አንጀለስ ካሊፎርኒያ ነው ከሀገር ከወጣሁ ወደ 40 ዓመት
From Las Vegas, California. I've been living there for the past 40 years. This is my fourth visit to Ethiopia, all the previous three being during the war in Tigray. During my first visit to Ethiopia, I bumped with around 500 Ethiopian diaspora, and we managed to travel to far-off battlefields where wounded Ethiopian troops were being treated. Over our second visit to the country was made in response to the call of the Prime Minister of the country in what was then the Diaspora Homecoming Challenge. During this visit, which spanned for a whole month, we set foot in Afar and Amara, visiting affected areas and people. During the third visit, my wife tagged along with me, where we provided support and explored the real situation in the northern part of the country. There is no mistaking the nature of the United policy, for the United States intent comes first. For that to happen, though, they expect governments across the globe to bow down to them. The very purpose of HR 6600 is making Ethiopia a virtual United States protectorate. This punitive bill is all about tougher sanctions and thus pushing the country down the drain. We need to tighten our belts and stop this bill from being written into law. But this can only happen when we put aside minor differences and establish bigger partnerships. If allowed to continue unchecked, these minor differences will only compromise the nation's unity. We need to focus on our unity. HR 600 is now on the table with a potent force working day and night to help it pass. But now, they have come with human rights issues. And again, we need to maintain strengthening our unity to resist foreign intrusions. We have to wake up and struggle for our unity.
Ethiopia is poised to hold national dialogue to seek remedies for polarized politics affecting its peace and stability. These are issues to be raised in News and Analysis Hour, which we will bringing you in April on Addis News Hour, only on ETV Languages channel.
Currently, the rise of inflation is affecting the multi-sector retailer trade in Ethiopian market. ETV will closely look into the matter and bring you analysis and detailed news.
Addis Ababa is the political seat of African Union and other international organizations. And ATV English will bring you fresh stories on the diplomatic arena.
Welcome back. Now moving on, a member of the Eid to Eid Diaspora Homecoming Challenge Committee says numerous tasks have been carried out both internationally and domestically to welcome the diaspora. It is to be recalled that the National Committee was tasked with numerous activities to host Eid celebration, following the call to the diaspora by Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed. Shagawi Mata reports.
Following the call to the diaspora and Ethiopian friends to attend Eid celebration in Ethiopia by Abiy Ahmed, a national committee was organized and numerous activities have been carried out both internationally and domestically. The committee established to facilitate the Great Ethiopian Homecoming under the banner Eid al-Fitr to Eid al-Adha has been convening since early March and deliberating on preliminary plans to host the program. In an exclusive interview with ETV, Ustaz Kamil Shamsu, a member of Eid to Eid Diaspora Homecoming Challenge said that the National Committee is undertaking various tasks both internationally and domestically to welcome the diaspora in Ethiopia.
Every committee is were doing its own best. For example, Foreign Affairs, they disseminated or sent the package or the content of this program to different embassies and consulates to communicate the people over there, the community over there. Locally or domestically, there are different preparations. There are different committees and subcommittees to facilitate this program, to welcome the guests, to host them, the logistic areas and security areas, and preparing different programs, meetings, conferences, symposiums here in Addis and out of Addis also.
Kamil also explained the political, economic and social significance of the Diaspora Homecoming Challenge in connection with the upcoming festivity.
They send message to their friends, to other countries, that Ethiopia is peace. People are living friendly, living in tolerance with each other, and this one. The other thing is it has economic impacts. When this diaspora come to Ethiopia, there are different packages prepared in different regions, what the investment opportunities in Ethiopia. The other one is social, it has a social impact. This shows that Ethiopia is a diversified country. There are Christian, there are Muslim, people are living equally, respecting each other, respecting one's other's religion, cultures like that. So, and this strengthens the bonds of the Ethiopian diasporas and the Ethiopians living in their country.
Finally, Kamil wished a happy Eid al-Fitr for the Muslim faithful and urged them to continue their good deeds for displaced and war-affected people.
My message is to Ethiopian Muslims, since we're Ethiopian Muslims and world Muslims, since we are approaching Eid, I want to say happy Eid al-Fitr for all Muslims living in Ethiopia and living abroad and world Muslims. So I hope this Eid will be Eid of peace, Eid of enjoy. We adapted in this holy months of Ramadan different good deeds. So we adapted giving more for poor people, helping poor people, helping displaced people due to war and due to droughts in different parts of our country. So we have to continue this.
The Ethiopian delegation, led by the Minister of Finance Ahmed Shide, held a fruitful discussion with USAID Administrator Samantha Power on the development cooperation between the two countries and current political and economic development in Ethiopia. The discussion focused on the multifaceted challenges of the conflict, the recent drought affecting the Horn region, and implications of the current global trend of increasing commodity prices on Ethiopia food security. The minister highlighted the need to protect the unity, territorial integrity, and sovereignty of the Ethiopian state while acknowledging the USAID's reliable and strong partnership and legacy in Ethiopia. U.S. Charge d'Affaires in Addis Ababa, Ambassador Trician Jacobson has arrived in Gode town, Somali state. The delegation is expected to visit the Higlo internally displaced persons IDP camp and other U.S.-funded emergency food assistance to the community and resilience activities in the area. The Higlo IDP camp emerged in February 2022 and hosts over 10,000 individuals, out of which the majority of them are women. The delegation is also expected to visit Gode Hospital, according to our staff reporter Tigist Sarnesa. Across all the drought-affected regions, the United States has provided emergency food, including cereals, pulses, and vegetables, to 3.6 million Ethiopians, it was indicated. This includes the drought-affected areas of Dire Dawa, Oromia, Sidama, Southern, and Somali regions. Members of the Ethiopian diaspora community express readiness to combat undue foreign pressure at any cost. Director of the Diaspora Community Development, Nabiyu Solomon, exclusively told ETV that Ethiopians from across the globe are increasingly rejoining the national call to oppose any external pressure. Alula Tekramariam presents the following story.
Many have been voicing serious concerns against the U.S. punitive bills introduced by some U.S. Congress and Senate members. The Ethiopian diaspora community has been at the forefront of the worldwide protest against undue foreign pressure, which is said to negatively impact the Ethio-U.S. relations.
What kind of efforts they are doing? Of course, they have been doing a number of massive demonstrations in different states of the U.S. They are making online petitions. They are using at the same time voters' voice platforms, which is a direct call to senators and congressmen to oppose and to show their attitude towards such kind of acts. And they are writing open letters. They are reaching different influential people or politicians, government heads in the U.S. And at the same time, digitally also, our diasporas are making a lot of efforts with the organized or the existing diaspora associations and platforms. They are doing a number of digital mobilizations like Twitter, on Facebook, and etc. Such kind of social medias that they are using to oppose or to show their opposition against these acts.
Nabiyu also thanked the diaspora community for positively responding to the Eid to Eid homecoming national call. He took the occasion to call upon other fellow Ethiopians to follow suit and celebrate the Eid holiday in their homeland.
Diasporas to spend their time for the coming Muslim Eid holiday, which is Eid al-Iftar. So to run such kind of programs, a huge or national program, there is a national committee running such kind of events, and we have two events, or we divided the program into two phases. The first phase will be from this from April to May, and to celebrate or to make this national event a colorful event, there are a number of programs. So what's expected from the diaspora is to accept the call of its motherland. Ethiopia is calling. So we expect that the diasporas will take this call seriously and arrive home to spend this time or their time in their beloved motherland and with their families at the same time, and participate actively with those colorful programs. And I'm sure they will enjoy and have a memorable time to spend on those kind of events.
So far, thousands of Ethiopian Muslims in the Ethiopian diaspora have returned to Ethiopia, responding to the government's call for a great Ethiopian homecoming.
You're still watching this news hour, and now let's find out the exchange rates of some currencies, and I'll be right back. Now, Elon Musk has struck a deal to buy Twitter for roughly $44 billion in a victory by the world's richest man to take over the influential social network frequented by world leaders, celebrities, and cultural trendsetters. This is one of the most active trending news globally, and Musk is the world's richest person according to Forbes magazine, with an estimated net worth of $273.6 billion. Daniel Casaun has produced the following story from different sources.
Is for. You need a wrench. That's what the wrench is for. And then a very important thing happens, which is that the relevance of the tools becomes apparent.
So all your 5 boys are in that school?
Yes.
Twitter accepted Elon Musk's bid to take over the company, which would give the world's richest man control over the social media network where he is also among its most influential users and a controversial one. Musk intends to take Twitter private as part of the deal. Elon Musk, with more than 3 million followers on Twitter, has said he wants to transform the platform by taking it private. Musk, who made the shock bill less than 2 weeks ago, said Twitter had tremendous potential that he would unlock. He also called for a series of changes, from relaxing its content restrictions to eradicating fake accounts. The high-profile Twitter user also reiterated he is supposed to soften Twitter's stance on content moderation, saying that free speech is the bedrock of functioning democracy. Musk added that Twitter is the digital town square where matters vital to the future of humanity are debated. The firm initially rebuffed Musk's bid, but it will now ask stakeholders to vote to approve the deal. It would be the largest deal to take a company private, something Mr. Musk has signed. He will do this with Twitter in at least 2 decades, according to data compiled by Dialogic. Still, some industry experts worry that Musk's desire for free speech on Twitter could mean rolling back some of the platforms would work to curb hate speech, misinformation, harassment, and other harmful content. Others questioned whether Musk might restore former President Donald Trump's account, which had removed the previous year. The deal, which has been unanimously approved by Twitter's board, is expected to close this year, subject to a vote of Twitter stakeholders and certain regulatory approach.
It makes more sense to cater the education to match their aptitudes and abilities. So I think that's one principle. Another is that it's important to teach problem solving, or teach to the problem, not to the tools. So this would be like, let's say.
Well, dear viewers, let's also take a look at the weather updates of some African nations, and I'll be right back. The top stories. Ethiopians urged to put aside minor differences and solidify struggle against impunity bills or face the consequences. And analysts worry about what Musk really wants with Twitter now that the deal to buy Twitter has been struck. Well, that's all the news there is for now. Thank you for watching us.
Ethiopia is poised to hold national dialogue to seek remedies for polarized politics affecting its peace and stability. These are issues to be raised in News and Analysis Hour, which we will